So to get started in GitHub, this is where our business intelligence layer lives. When I hit on the dot key, it takes me straight to edit mode where I can make changes. So here we have some models that I've already onboarded, and this one, for example, is a staging table, which is just some raw data from GitHub. So let's go ahead and create a new model. We're going to call it Stargazers, and this will be a cleaned up table with all of the people who have starred our projects in GitHub. So once I've written the SQL, I'm going to add it to my schema and then add all of the columns to my schema file. I'm going to then add a nice description to make sure that people in my company can identify the model. And I can also very clearly see the dependency graph of where the data is coming from. I can then make sure that my SQL is correct by just running the data. So once I'm happy with my changes, I'm going to commit and push them to GitHub and create a new pull request. So once I've created that pull request, we then get a link to Query Cloud, which is where my colleagues can instantly see the changes that I'm making. So if we take a look at the Stargazers model, we can see the columns and descriptions alongside the commit history. So one feature in Query is that we can actually roll back and see exactly what that model looked like 2 weeks ago. And as you can see here, it didn't have any descriptions and the data might look slightly different. So now that I'm happy with my changes, let's go back to GitHub and see the changes that have been made and make sure that all the checks are passed. In this case, it's just compiled the project to make sure that I've not made any mistakes. Once I'm happy with the changes, I'm going to merge it into my main branch, which is where we will then deploy these models to my data warehouse. So if we head over to our data warehouse in BigQuery, I should be able to see all of the models that I've just created, and now I can also pull the data from it to make sure that it's correct. And now anyone in my company can query that view.